What if 50 Cent's real problem with Jay-Z was never the music at all, but the gate? And what if the funny clips people keep reposting are really a warning about who gets to stand on the biggest stages? For years, the tension has lived in whispers, side comments, and that weird feeling that certain moments in hip-hop didn't happen by accident. And now, every time 50 brings it back up, it lands less like a joke and more like a test of power. But then, listen closely to how this story keeps getting retold.
Walking in the studio, bleak beans, everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now. Just flood it, put out a lot of music because 50 Cent is coming. And, you know, 4 months later, in the club hit and it was over. And it was just like, okay, now everybody got to sit on the sidelines and wait this tidal wave out.
There's a huge difference in energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records sold 5 million. They let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there. Because America can be purchased. You can buy it with marketing dollars. You see what I'm saying? But the rest of the world, there's not enough marketing dollars to go around.
That's why I made a statement about Taylor Swift.
I wish you would come take one of my awards so I could black his eye in front of everybody.
And Jay disagrees.
I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
Does that bother you? Does it bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me. It's just his choice.
Why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me if I'm afraid of Jay-Z?
The public is responding to his punk presentation. It's not 50 Cent. I don't have a problem with him. Kanye would not take a trophy from me. Neither Jay-Z.
Right.
Neither one of them.
Well, what would you?
More records than Jay-Z. But all you had to do was listen to Benny Siegel, and Benny Siegel was, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, he said that. That was the first of me actually hearing it. Like, oh, like I used to have questions like why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top of me. He wouldn't let me breathe or right before me. Like I was always close and I always thought like, damn, if a kid, back then it was physical copies. So if you had $20, $20 that you saved up and you was going to buy an album and it's under the same house, Rockefeller, between Jay and Beyoncé, you won't. 9 times out of 10, you won't buy the Jay-Z album. I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on time. And it was like, damn, like that in-house competition at that magnitude was crazy. Jay already the boss, but I always thought that, like, let me breathe. But to maliciously plot to hold me back, I don't know, man. I don't believe that. I don't want to believe that. I mean, but like I said,
The Super Bowl rumor is where it stops feeling like old-school competition and starts sounding like a boardroom tug-of-war. According to what's been reported and repeated in interviews, the claim is that Jay-Z wasn't fully on board with 50 being included and that Eminem allegedly made it a non-negotiable. Not proven in court, not confirmed by every party, but it's the kind of story that spreads because it fits a bigger pattern people already suspect. And here's the part people miss. The rumor isn't about ego, it's about who has veto power.
Jay-Z, right? I said to my nephew, I said, yo, listen, I have to ask him this straight up. So I said, yo, why, who is the people that's on, NFL? And he said to me, and I'm sorry for anybody who don't understand. And he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. And he said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
That was beautiful.
And guess who's Dre's guy?
The contrast is part of why this goes viral. 50's image is the guy who stays reachable, the guy who'll laugh in the middle of the chaos, while Jay-Z is framed as distant, calculated, and always thinking 3 moves ahead. That doesn't automatically make anyone good or bad, but it does explain why the internet picks sides instantly. And that's where it gets messy, because perception becomes proof in the comments.
You know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and Jay got to remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, Diddy, but all that crazy shit going on. But, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay. So I think people are just going to say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you got to remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I'm like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl?
Know that? Yeah, he didn't want.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some hate. Yeah,
I remember Eminem was like, I'm not going to do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted him there. I don't know
because of what some of the.
I mean, it's competition. You got to think. 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was what 9. What was that? 9?
But after that, they did a song together. Remember the whole
50 was
thing?
Was always competition for. Then remember Jay said, yo, 50's coming. He told Siegel and them and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You got to remember, he came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came, and people might G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody has had the.
Now the conversation swerves from music into legacy. The narration around Jay-Z often paints him as a master strategist, and then the talk turns to his relationship with Beyoncé, with people debating whether it's pure love, brand alignment, or both. None of that is something outsiders can truly know, and a lot of it is speculation. But once fans believe a legacy is being protected like a vault, every headline feels connected. And just wait, because the next layer pulls in way bigger names.
20, y'all. Yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016. The game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a Black Billionaires Lunch. Yeah. You understand? Right. And we here together and we're going to keep staying together. We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. And ain't nothing else to us. Black excellence.
The new lawsuit coming with Jay. The part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like
to us. Black excellence.
That had to be there.
We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. And ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's a billionaire brunch.
Oh,
like,
I hate you, man.
Unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm going to be with you this year.
The rumors expand fast. Tabloid chatter, old stories resurfacing, and discussions about how young artists enter the industry and who's in the room when decisions are made. Some of it is reported, some of it is disputed, and some of it is just the internet doing what it does. But the reason it sticks is simple. People don't trust clean narratives anymore. And then the timeline snaps back to something official.
Contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. No, those trophies. Trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
He didn't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Oh, Lord.
He had like 18 since he's been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. At the same time, he got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him. Thinks the cop.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
Absolutely, been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Jay-Z's career, you can look at that as, say, the association to Beyonce.
is when he started to receive the 16 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, 1.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see the kids even have Grammys. Like, they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them.
Why are you so on top of the business side of Jay-Z? You know what I'm saying? Some people like to just be an artist.
Yeah, I was actually forced to be an artist and a businessman because when I tried to get a deal, I couldn't get a deal. So I had to create Rockefeller Records. We actually created Rockefeller Records from nothing. And, so I was forced to know both.
The 1999 Kit Kat Club incident is one of those moments that never fully disappears. It's been reported that Jay-Z later pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor assault charge tied to that case and received probation, and it keeps getting revisited whenever his larger-than-life business image is debated. That's a confirmed legal headline from that era, even if people argue about the context. And here's the twist. Old court stories change how audiences hear new accusations.
Ghana. She's from Barbados?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, she's Bayesian. How did you come in contact with her? I mean, did you fly over there?
No, Jay Brown had actually bought me the song. She has a song right now, and it's I wouldn't say massive because of her roots, but she has this outrageous song called Upon the Replay. And then he played that song for me, and I was scared. I was like, that song is too big for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, a new artist, when a song is that big, it's it's hard to come back from. And I don't sign songs, I sign artists.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Won't you break down the difference between that? Because the viewing public might not understand that.
Some people chase the hot song for a minute, and then they sign, based on the song. I want to sign it based on an artist, based on, or based on the swagger, based on the level of talent, based on the writing, So I was a little reluctant when I first heard the song, and then, he kept going, Jay Brown, he kept being persistent. I was like, bring her by. And when she walked into our office, I was like, she just had, it was just something about her. It was just, she had this, it was just something about it. And then she performed the song, and I was like, okay. Then, we sat down and we talked, and they were talking about how she would stay in the studio and try to get the verse over, and then come back the next day. I was like, oh, work ethic, everything is there. So we signed it that night. We didn't let her leave the office.
Really?
The 3 a.m. was when that contract got signed. So from the meeting around 3, 4 in the afternoon, we signed it by 3 a.m. Wow. That day, I was absolutely certain.
But Jaguar has been warning us about Jay-Z. Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great, because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Piers Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry.
Well,
what I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows.
Rihanna was trafficked to Def Jam.
She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look at her now.
14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room. Auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone with no parental supervision. Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest inked deal in.
Then it jumps back into relationship controversy again, including the widely discussed 2014 elevator incident that sparked years of debate and memes. What actually happened behind closed doors is still something the public can't verify, and the speculation has always been louder than the facts. But when two global stars become a symbol, every silence becomes evidence to somebody. And that's exactly why this next part hits harder.
Turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved in this.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was Jay-Z hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of Jay-Z.
I have my faults, you know.
At this point, it stops being just hip-hop gossip and turns into celebrity mythology, strategy versus loyalty, power versus visibility, and whether fame itself is a shield. People argue like they were there, even when they weren't, and then the video drops in a piece of real news footage, the kind that makes everything feel more serious.
Difficult to say, I'm going to talk about the problems in our marriage. I'm going to talk about how we almost lost things. And for her to say, I'm going to talk about my pain and anger at you. What were those conversations like?
Again, it didn't happen in that way. It happened, we were using our art, almost like a therapy session. And we started making music together.
Mm-hmm.
And then the music she was making at that time was further along. So her album came out as opposed to the joint album that we were working on.
Mm-hmm.
We still have a lot of that music. And this is what it became. There was never a point where it was like, I'm making this album. I was there.
Right.
I was right there the entire time.
And what was her reaction to your work, and what was your reaction to hers? They must have caused
I think they were
pain
both,
for each of you, right?
Of course. And both very, very uncomfortable, but sitting in that, the best place in a hurricane is like in the middle of it.
Yeah.
We were sitting in the eye of that hurricane. Maybe not use hurricane because so many people are being affected right now, but the best place is right in the middle of the pain.
Right.
And that's where we were sitting, and it was uncomfortable. And it's a lot of conversations, and really proud of the music she made. And she was really proud of the art I released. And, at the end of the day, we really have a healthy respect for one another's craft. I think she's amazing.
Right.
Most people walk away and like divorce rate is like 50% or something because most people can't see themselves. The hardest thing is seeing pain on someone's face that you caused and then have to deal with yourself.
Yeah.
So most people don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You don't want to look inside yourself. And so you walk away. It's my soulmate. It's the person I love, and you can be in love with someone. You can love someone and and if you haven't experienced love and you don't understand it and you don't have the tools to move forward, then you're going to have complications, period. And if you can either address it or you can pretend until it blows up at some point. And, for us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome. You see, to break that cycle. For Black men and women. To see a different outcome, like you were saying. It's not this celebrity couple. We were never a celebrity couple. We were a couple who just...
More recent headlines add fuel too. A legal filing reported in the news has named Jay-Z in a civil claim involving severe accusations. Jay-Z has publicly denied the allegations and has urged that any investigation should be handled through criminal channels rather than civil claims. That's the key detail. Allegation versus denial, claim versus response, still disputed, still unfolding, not proven in court. But once that's in the air, every joke becomes darker, and that's where it gets dangerous, because people start treating rumors like verdicts.
New twist in a high-profile lawsuit accuses rapper Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit, originally filed in October, was refiled today to include Jay-Z as a defendant. The anonymous accuser claims the assault occurred at an MTV Video Music Awards after-party. Jay-Z has denied the allegations in a statement on Roc Nation's Instagram, calling the accusations heinous and urging a criminal complaint be filed instead of a civil one. He also criticized the attorney behind the lawsuit, Tony Busby, accusing him of exploiting.
And that's why 50's commentary lands the way it does. He's been described as someone who calls out the culture of silence, who says out loud what others allegedly won't, even if it makes him enemies. Whether you love him or can't stand him, he knows how to press the one button that always works. Who's really protected? But then he takes it further, leaning into the idea that he's not afraid of anyone in the room.
Throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way. Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up.
I don't got that in my past. I'm not.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like,
I took.
Not that it's real enough.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better, or to remember, buddy.
I didn't give her a drink so she forget what the happened. What the is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drink. I gave me the drug to perform, so she can remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. Like, I'm pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. Well, I don't know why it's so hard for people
so
just
for people to feel like you would have something, or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too. This is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues, and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what is that?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. And when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip hop culture could think that everybody in hip hop culture.
And when Jaguar Wright enters the conversation, the temperature spikes instantly. She has made claims publicly, and those claims are heavily disputed, and in at least one high-profile moment, Piers Morgan issued an apology and edited portions of an interview after legal pushback, showing how fast these stories collide with real-world consequences. That doesn't prove her claims, it proves the topic is volatile. And here's the part people don't want to admit. The internet loves explosive footage, but rarely asks what's verified.
Look, Jay-Z and them was putting it together. So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No. I don't think, I think that they were saying the NFL has some issues with me that, I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You see what I'm saying? Like, and with M, because like with Nori he had, communication. He said, yeah, I talked to the big homie. He said, told Jay, he was telling me, you know, the white boy wouldn't do the truth without fit, right? And I'm like, that's when I start saying crazy stuff, because I look and I go, oh, that's your big homie, right? And so he imaged himself after a gay painter. The big homie want to look like a gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
Oh my God, I think I know where we're going with
So now look, what I'm saying to you is, look, when you start looking at, that's not mine, that's theirs, they Harper, right? But when you look at, M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with M.
I hadn't seen it till this morning when I saw this headline. Kim found it for me. Let's watch this clip quickly.
Crazy
Let's
that you
watch
haven't
Tyra
seen
pushing to get this out of Rihanna, and when it does, man, it made me feel very, very uncomfortable.
Audition. Yes, but before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
You had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Pon de Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he said it one more.
I did a lot of homework on you, this lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar, he threatened her. This is her own words coming out of her mouth. And she was a kid at that time, correct?
15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed.
And
beautiful.
When I met her that day, I knew she was a star. Like, just her look, the way she walked into a room and her confidence, and she performed in my office.
And she was what, 17 years old at that point?
Was 16.
16. And she has the confidence of it. She's like an old soul in a sense, right?
Absolutely.
So she walks in your office and what, she just belts out a tune?
Belts out a tune, she performs, and I tell her, there's no way out of this office.
So now we're left with the same haunting question in a new form. Is this about hits, money, or access? And who gets to decide what the public is allowed to believe? Because if 50's alleged footage and non-stop commentary are really just a spotlight on gatekeeping, then the biggest mystery isn't what was said, it's who benefits when everyone stays quiet. What do you think is actually being protected here? Reputation, business, or something else entirely?